Hello and welcome to a mid-year channel update video for 2020. You can see on your screen right now there is a YouTube schedule. I will be talking about that schedule in a few moments, as well as going through each one of those games and why I am playing them, what is going to happen, what kind of things to expect in those games, what kind of channel changes to expect, because there are going to be some channel changes as well. And also, very importantly, I am going to be talking about my Patreon. This is not going to be a very long video, but I think it's a really important one, so I hope you guys bear with me through it and actually watch it all the way through. You can see that I have Assetto Corsa on in the background, so I've just recorded some Assetto Corsa with head tracking for the first time in a very long time, and also I've recorded it, which is different to me streaming it, because I think for quite a while I've done nothing but stream Assetto Corsa, and there is some two-way traffic, though it doesn't work as brilliantly as I hoped. I think maybe I did something wrong, so you're going to see me follow the traffic around and probably end up in a bit of a traffic jam at some point. Anyway, that aside, you can see the YouTube schedule in front of you, and you can see that some things have changed, and it looks like every video is only on once a week, so I am going to be talking about that. And we'll start with let's see, what should we start with? I think let's just start with Space Engineers, because Space Engineers is right there. So previously we had Space Engineers was on Monday and Fridays with 2 videos of 25 minutes each. So the new schedule has it at 1 video a week, 40 minutes long on a Sunday. Now the reason I've done that is because we record episodes of Space Engineers on Saturday, and if perchance there is a problem and I run out of videos, say somebody's ill or something like that, or somebody's on holiday or whatever it is, it gives me a chance to record the video on the Saturday and then post it the very next day, as opposed to having to wait until Friday, and let's say we've run out of video on Thursday, then we no longer have a video. So it keeps it very close for me on that recording. The other reason I've done that is because 40-minute videos are going to be the new sort of norm for the channel. 30 to 40-minute videos in general. More content can be shown, more video time can be shown. It is easier for me to actually edit 40-minute videos as opposed to multiple 25-minute videos, and also it falls better into the way that I'm trying to produce my content. A single episode on television is 40 minutes plus the adverts, so well, I'm going to turn around here now. 40 minutes plus the adverts, so that is what I am trying to replicate here, saying, well, this is like a single episode of a show on television. So Series 2 has started with Space Engineers. That came out last Sunday. So that is going to be the new norm from now on, and hopefully you guys did enjoy the first episode. If you have not watched that, I do recommend you do. It is going to be a really good series. The next one we're going to talk about should be Cities Skylines, since Cities Skylines is showing to be on a Monday now. Previously, Cities Skylines was 30 minutes long, and there was 1 video a week on it, but it was on a random day. Sometimes it would come out on a Thursday, sometimes it would come out on a Monday, sometimes it would come out on a Saturday. I've decided to fix a day for it, and that is going to be on a Monday. The videos are going to be 30 minutes each, and the series is going to continue for now, but there is potential to scrap the series. That is why it has the asterisk on it. It may be dropped if the mods just do not work. So if the game crashes too much or it causes too much trouble, the game starts lagging to about 6 frames per second. At the moment it isn't doing very well anyway, but I'm hoping it does not get too much worse than it currently is. So if the title gets worse, if the mods just do not get any better and it gets really difficult to make the content, then I will be getting rid of that series. But for now, City Skylines continues, and I am hoping it continues until at least the end of the year, if not into 2021. Moving on to Tuesdays. Tuesdays shall be Transport Fever Day. Now this has already started because with Transport Fever 2 coming out, I decided to start that pattern, or I'm going to be starting that pattern. Currently we have 2 weekly videos on Tuesday and Saturday. Before it used to be on 2 other days, so I've now got them on Tuesdays and Saturdays, and they are 30 minutes each. The new schedule will see 1 video on Tuesdays only at 40 minutes each, so you are going to lose about 20 minutes of a video, but I'm going to try and make up for that by having a better quality video, and also, let's ignore the bump, and also making sure that I go in with a really good plan. So that I'm not just going, oh, what do I do there? Oh, this is not going to know. I want to know what I'm doing, and I'm saying, right, this is what we're doing today. Let's get on with it straight away. Let's not waste time. So essentially the same amount of content will be there with all the detail that I can put in. Series 1 is going to continue for another 20 or so episodes, so you're looking at about 20 further weeks of Series 1, and Series 2 has already been planned, and I am going to hopefully get it out on, I'm looking at around October, November time. That is where I'm looking, so about a year after Transport Fever 2 was released, that is the sort of time I'm looking to get Series 2 rolling. So plenty of time still for Series 1, loads of great things to still come. If you enjoy Transport Fever, there is a lot of good things to come, and Series 2 is just going to be absolutely brilliant because it is going to be a modded series. On Wednesdays we are going to be having X-Plane 11, and also we've got Flight Simulator 2020 coming the way of beta testing, I think, fairly soon. But with X-Plane 11, some things are going to also be changing. So we have 1 or 2 weekly videos currently with X-Plane 11 on Wednesdays and Saturdays. What is now going to happen is the Saturday part is going to be scrapped, and we are going to have Wednesdays for X-Plane 11 showcase and flights. So if there is a new mod, if there is a new add-on of some sort that I want to show off, that will happen on Wednesdays. On Saturdays, every other Saturday, I'm going to be bringing back the advanced flight tutorials. So every 2 weeks there is going to be an advanced flight tutorial coming out. That will be one that can be applied to X-Plane, to Flight Simulator 10, if people still play that, to Prepared version 5, to Flight Simulator 2020. It will be a generic one. It will take place in X-Plane, but the idea behind it is going to be generic. I will be teaching you from scratch how to fly aircraft, all about aircraft, and we will be moving through single prop, twin prop, jets, all the way up to jetliners, and we're going to learn everything that we possibly can. This is a series I have done before, but I did, I think, 20 something episodes. It seems to be picking up traction. I've noticed more comments going through, but I'm going to do it, and it's going to be better, it's going to be bigger, it's going to be longer videos, more in depth, and of course soon I'm going to talk about how that is going to link to my Patreon as well. So we've got Saturday videos with advanced flight tutorials, and we've got X-Plane 11 normal videos on Wednesday, which will alternate with Flight Simulator 2020 depending on when that comes out and what the response and reception is to that. On Thursdays we now have Kerbal Space Program. Now with Kerbal Space Program, it's a new series. There's only 2 episodes. Again, this is my 3rd attempt at making a series, but it is here to stay. 1 weekly video on a Thursday, 40 minutes each, 40 to 45 minutes I suppose. So the new schedule has no change because this is a brand new title to the channel, or a new title to the current state of this channel. The series is going to continue unless the game breaks, and if it cannot be fixed, then the series will unfortunately have to stop. It will also alternate with Kerbal Space Program 2 when that is released. So once Kerbal Space Program 2 is out, then we will have this alternating, and then I will see which one's doing better. But we are going to have a Kerbal Space Program on this channel for the foreseeable future. Fridays. Now you'll notice on Friday it seems to have Minecraft back. Well, Minecraft Extreme Build, something that I really did like doing, so I am bringing Minecraft Extreme Builds back, and this time it is here to stay. It will be about a 40-45 minute long video again every Friday, and the builds are going to be multi-part because I'm not going to be able to do a single build in a single episode. It is going to be that detailed. So I will pick a build, I will then get on with that build, and the build is going to be based on real buildings or real life ideas, and potentially this is something that could be live streamed on Fridays as opposed to episodes, or occasionally episodes, occasionally live streams. The live streams will probably be about 2.5 hours long. The first one I'm going to do, the first build I'm going to do to get myself back into it, is going to be a house, but very quickly it will go into historical buildings and bridges and wonders of the world, landmarks, all of that kind of stuff. That is the idea behind this series, and I think it's going to be really quite good because I do like doing these really in-depth builds. The detailing in there is something that I think this channel is very, very much about. The whole idea, simulation, detail, it is very much something that is given in this channel. So that is what we are going to be having on the Fridays. On Saturday, I've already mentioned the flight sim tutorials that you see on the schedule, or that you do not see on the schedule. On the schedule, however, it does say Assetto Corsa. Now, Assetto Corsa is going to be returned to the channel with fortnightly videos on a Saturday, which are going to be about 20-25 minutes is what I've written. I'm thinking it might just stretch to 30 minutes, and there are going to be 2 Assetto Corsa series running. So there's going to be Assetto Corsa Drives, which is going to be where I am reviewing cars in Assetto Corsa as though they were real cars. So I'm not going to be looking at this and going, oh, the modelling is like this, the texturing is like this. I'm going to be taking the best cars that I can find in Assetto Corsa, so the Kunos cars and the best of the modded cars, and I'm going to be talking about what those cars are, about their history, their price in real life, their practicality, their top speed, their 0 to 60, all of that kind of stuff, and driving it around, throwing it around certain tracks maybe, or around here, LA Canyons, why not? And it will be like a car review, and I think it's just something for me to do, and it will be, I think it's going to be nice to be able to impart some of the knowledge that I have about certain cars for those people who are interested. So it is something for people who are interested in cars. This is going to be a way to learn. The other series that is going to be on the channel is F1 Through the Ages. That is going to be similar to the whole review one, as I have to slam on the brakes. It is going to be similar to the whole review one of normal cars, except it's going to be with Formula 1 cars, and it is going to be going through Formula 1 cars from the 1950s up to 2019-2020 for the reason of comparing them and seeing which ones were the fastest, which ones had the lowest lap time, fastest lap time, which ones had the highest top speed, which ones were the best accelerating, which ones sound the best, which ones felt the best, which ones looked the best, and overall giving them a score. So I'm going to be rating each and every one of them, and let's see if we can find the ultimate F1 car of all time. I've got an idea as to what I think it might be, but then again, I could end up surprising myself. I did certainly many years ago when I first did an F1 challenge. I did end up surprising myself with what I thought I would put as my favourite vehicle, or as the most fun one, and what I actually ended up putting. as the one at the end. So there is that. It might happen. Both of these are going to be fully produced videos, so that means we're going to have multiple camera angles. I might try and put nice titles on it, nice screens, overlays, all of that kind of stuff. There's going to be a lot of production in this, and that is going to be starting probably mid-June, early July. I'm going to try and start it by mid-June, but it is going to be a lot of work, and I'm going to have to try and see just how I pull this off. It might be that we do it alternating, one Saturday Assetto Corsa Drives, another Saturday F1 Through the Ages, so on and so forth, or it might be one Saturday Assetto Corsa Drives, the other Saturday free, the next Saturday F1 Through the Ages, the next Saturday free, then Assetto Corsa Drives. It all depends on the amount of time I have and how difficult it is to actually produce these, because this is going to be one of 3 or 4 produced series, or properly produced series, on this channel. The other ones being the flight tutorials and possibly the Minecraft one, but I'm not 100% sure about that just yet. The other ones are of course going to be partially produced. Overlays are going to start appearing on them, not just the subscribe and Patreon and social media overlays, but other kinds of overlays are going to be appearing on them, and it is going to be hopefully up the quality of my production. That is overall the whole point of this. So that brings me to the end of the schedule. Now you will notice that Train Sim World is missing from this. Well, that is because I'm looking at dropping, or I am dropping, Train Sim World, not because I do not like trains. I do like trains. I think that they're wonderful machines. They're very, very complicated, very technical. It's an incredible thing. But for my channel, it is just not, it is not something that I can play on the channel and say, yeah, let's do this, and this is really exciting over and over, because I'll do one mission and that's fine, and it's great, and I've driven the train and that's wonderful, and then it's the same thing over and over and over and over. So even if I didn't do that, there isn't enough content for me to be able to create loads and loads of videos. I'm not saying Train Sim World is going to disappear entirely, or train simulators are disappearing entirely. Maybe once a month I will have an additional video out with a train simulator. I might do something like that, once a month, or once every few weeks at random, once every 3 or 4 weeks, even if it's not once a month. So maybe in some months you might end up with one video at the start of the month and one at the end with train simulators. I haven't decided on that, but as a mainstay, as a scheduled series on this channel, Train Sim World and train simulators are unfortunately gone. I think I have better things that I can do, things that will be a little bit more exciting, and certainly for me a little bit more engaging than Train Sim World or Train Simulator 2020. That is not to say that they are not good titles. They are good titles, even Trains Railroad Simulator 2019 to 2020. Good titles, but not something for me going forward in the future. Okay, with that all being said, it is time to move on to the next really important part of what I need to talk about, and that is going to be Patreon. So you're going to see on screen now, I have got the Patreon perks coming up. Now on Patreon, there've been a few changes, and it is really going to be very important for me to be pushing Patreon forward, and you can see that I've got some of the tiers and categories already up. So with Patreon, if you guys do not know what Patreon is, it is a platform where you can contribute and pledge and donate to a creator of your choice, or someone of your choice who's making something, and in return they give you something back, or you do it out of the goodness of your heart and you have some money to spare and you think, well, I like this person's content, or I like this person's videos, or I like this person's product. and I just want to help them out. That is what Patreon is all about. It is a great platform. So what I have done is I have refined some of my Patreon perks, and I have and the tiers, and I have renamed them, and this is what we have. So if you want to support me, you can pledge $1, and for $1 you will get access to the Discord lounge, general chat in there. I'm always around in that lounge, and sometimes we talk about trains, sometimes we talk about planes, sometimes we talk about breaking things, sometimes we talk about computers. You know, there's loads of different things that we discuss. It's just a nice little community. So that is what you get for a $1 pledge. You'll have access to that, and of course $1 is equivalent to approximately about 100 YouTube adverts. So if you were to then use an ad blocker on my channel, I really do not mind. I think you're pledging $1 to me. You can use an ad blocker on my channel. You are giving me let's say you watch 15 videos of mine a month. You are giving me a lot more back than what those videos would give back. That is not to say that to use an ad blocker just like that. I think people like using ad blockers, but they do not realize the harm it causes to content creators. On some websites, I understand they're just covered in adverts, and it is rather ridiculous, but I think it is sort of important not to do that. The next one is Junior Officer. This is probably the sort of perk that I would expect most people to pick on supporting me on Patreon. So it's between $5 and $10. You'll get access to the Patreon only Discord channel. So there is a second channel for Patreon only Discord. That's where I talk about plans that I've got, things that I'm doing. I ask you guys for opinions, and we talk about more things that will not be out for anybody else to see. So that is where that goes. Also, you will have the Flight Sim Tutorial Extra. So I'm planning to have PDF documents that complement the videos. So the videos that I was talking about earlier, there are going to be PDF documents hopefully to complement those videos, and they will be available in that channel, as well as any questions that you can ask. So I will not be answering questions in comments in those videos. It is going to be something specifically for Patreon. I know it sounds a little bit odd, I know it probably sounds counterintuitive, but it is, I think it's the best way for me to do things, because some of those comments, some of the questions do have rather complicated answers. In addition to that, there are exclusive Patreon series. This is something that I am working with Patreons right now to decide what series to do and how many episodes a week. It might be 1 episode a week, it might be 2 episodes a week, it might be 2 different series, it might be 1 series for a while and then I'll change the series according to what people want. But that is something that is definitely coming along. There are going to be guaranteed episodes for exclusive Patreon content. Jumping up from that, we have the Officer tier, which is $10. That is going to give you a little bit more. There's going to be the outtakes and behind the scenes videos. Now, those ones previously were on $5, but because I'm now doing Patreon exclusive series, these ones go up to $10. So that is going to be for Space Engineers outtakes, for example, or whilst I'm creating videos, if I see something that doesn't get included in the videos, so some part that I've cut out, or behind the scenes, for example, when I'm making the Assetto Corsa ones, you'll get to see maybe some of the video creation process, some of the planning, some of the camera shots, all of that kind of stuff. So that is all going to be included in the $10 one. In addition to that, at that point, we've got multiplayer games. So I'm looking at doing some multiplayer games, some multiplayer series. That is not yet set in stone, so we're going to have to look at that, but that is very much the intention. And odds are it might be Minecraft, the extreme builds, helping me out with the extreme builds and things like that. Jumping up from that, there's the specialist. The specialist one is special projects access when that is running. So that is, for example, currently the space engineers one. So for access to space engineers, where there is a lot of planning that goes into that particular set of videos, there is a lot of discussion beforehand, over the course of a week, between episodes, between recordings. A lot of us, all of us in that series, put in quite a fair amount of effort to make sure that those videos do get made and are of the highest quality that we can make them. You then have the pilot, which is $50. Fairly sure if someone selects this, they've probably made a mistake with the 0 and they were meant to put 5 and have put 50. And then you've got the chief engineer at $100, and that is pretty much a channel sponsor. At this point, every video that I make, whilst you are in that sort of tier, I think every video that I make will have your name on it in the description box, saying, you know, Patreon's channel sponsors, and also in the video. Just make sure that it is a sensible name, otherwise I will not be including it, of course. So, is it worth supporting me on Patreon? Well, I'd like to think it is. I would like to think that it is worth supporting me on Patreon. That is not to say that it is going to be that I'm going to have everything in place and it's going to be the most amazing thing ever at the start. No, I am building up towards that. And of course, the more people that support me, the better I can make it and the more that I can do. If you can support me for $1, that is awesome. Let's say 300 people watch this video and 300 people decided to give me $1, pledge $1. That's 300 people on Discord. That's a 300 person community, and that is $300 that is going to, well, partly to my pocket after taxes. That is going to help me purchase, for example, a new microphone, a new desk, a new chair, things like that, a Track IR virtual reality headset, all of that kind of stuff, and get me closer to doing this full time, where I want to be creating quality entertainment that is also of education value, or educational value, should I say. That is what I really want to do. So I want to be able to do flight videos that are entertaining, but also people learn from them. Same for driving, same for Minecraft as well. I want to make these videos. Yes, it's entertaining, but whilst I'm doing that, let me teach you about this building. Let me give you a little bit of history about this building. Kerbal Space Program. I'll teach you rocket science. I can do that. I can teach you about orbital mechanics and thermodynamics and aerodynamics in simple forms. Something to give interest. Transport fever. Running railway networks. Okay, less on the education side there, but still running railway networks, building things, planning things. It might teach someone how to play a game better. City skylines, road planning, patterns, mathematics, traffic flow, all of that kind of stuff. Everything that I want to do has this educational idea behind it, and that is what I could really do with your guys' support on. So I do think that it is important to support me on Patreon if you can do so, and of course if you cannot, that's okay. That is also okay. I understand, because it is difficult for people to earn money, particularly in the time that this video is coming out. It is difficult for people to be making money, myself included, you guys, and just by supporting me, by clicking the like button on the video, subscribing, hitting the notification bell, watching the adverts, that would be awesome. Just doing that would be awesome. But if you can support me on Patreon, great. To finish this video off, of course, I'm going to promote my social media pages. So I do have a Twitter and an Instagram. Both of them can be found at ECGadgetLP. So you can go follow me on there. But with that is the end of this particular channel update. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed it. Hopefully it has given you enough information. Maybe I'll see you on Patreon. Maybe I'll see you on other videos on this channel. Hopefully you guys do join me for those. And thank you for watching this video. Thank you if you are a subscriber. Thank you if you're just a viewer. Thank you if you hit the like button. Thank you to my Patreons, and just thank you overall. 6,500 subscribers currently, almost 2 million views. That is not something to sniff at. I am incredibly honoured and humbled that people actually spend that time watching my videos and thinking that, yes, you know what, I will subscribe to this person because I like the quality that they make. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys in another channel update video, but hopefully on other videos on this channel.